What's wrong with that exactly?
So men, grow up. Put down the controller. How about you lead her with grace instead of trying to control her?
I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that there are so many women in the comment section to your video talking about how if only more men were like you, marriage wouldn't be in trouble. Did you actually hear what he said, ladies? He said, so men, grow up, put down the controller. I think you guys stopped listening after that. You're just like, yeah, put down the controller and pay attention to your woman. But that's not what he says. He says, how about you lead her with grace instead of trying to control her? Lead her with grace? How is that different from controlling her? Those two concepts are synonymous. This guy has a very douchebaggy way of listing two of the same things and then acting as if they're different. I mean, his last poem was based entirely on doing that, and now he's doing it in this one. He's saying, oh, we don't want to control our women, we just want to lead them with grace. Grace. You see how grace just makes everything better? You have to be a beneficent dictator. And you know what? If you are a man and you meet a woman and you really want to be in charge of the relationship and she really wants you to be in charge of the relationship, then I say fucking have at it. That's wonderful. That's your dynamic. It works for you and that's fine. But to state that the default setting of all relationships and the only relationships that are valid are the ones that are based in the Bible and the teachings of Jesus, that a man must lead his woman, that he is the head of the relationship and she is the follower, and that's just the way it is and the way it has to be, that is sexism and that is bigotry, and fuck that.
Now, I've never been married, but I'm a product of one that was non-existent. So don't tell me I don't understand the pain. Don't tell me I don't get it.
You don't understand the pain, and you don't get it. Your move.
Pursue Jesus as your foundation before you get under the covers. Because believe me, a strong friendship before marriage will make a good marriage after. Marriage isn't just sex. It's conversation and laughter.
Hey, conversation! Fuck yeah! Alright, I like conversation. Laughter? I'm all about laughter. Laugh until your fucking lungs explode. Jesus, that's your third ingredient. Conversation, laughter, and Jesus. Jesus has nothing to do with a successful relationship. In fact, if you look at the Bible has some pretty shitty teachings on the subject of marriage. The Bible says that a virgin who gets raped, as in pinned down by a man and fucked against her will, in case you forgot the definition of the word raped, while she's screaming and crying, the Bible says that the punishment of that guy should be he marries her. That's right, if you rape a virgin, the punishment that you have to endure is that you have to marry her. So all you fellas out there looking for a wife, the Bible's got you covered. The Bible says that if you're at war and you kill a woman's family and you steal her from her home, you can marry her against her will. Doesn't matter what she says. You killed her whole family. I'm sure she wants to spend the rest of her life around you. The Bible also allows polygamy. It says you can have multiple wives. You can also have a harem full of concubines. And you know what? I don't give a fuck about that. That's fine. But if you're going to have it one way, why not the other? Why can't a woman have a bunch of different husbands or a harem full of whatever she's sexually interested in? Why is that not okay in the Bible? I mean, the fact is that most of the Bible does not view women as human beings. They're typically viewed as semi-conscious property. You know, they're not quite as dumb as your mule, but they're not quite as smart as a man. You know, you gotta keep them in line. And they don't really have a say in things. Because if you give them a say, that just makes things so complicated. You know, the next thing you know, we'll be having divorce. To advise people to let the Bible govern their sex lives and their marriages, once again, is madness and it is idiocy. And that is what your poem is. It is madness and it is idiocy. You know, I'm getting married this July to a girl that I've been with for the last 3 years. So emotionally, we are married. And I love her and she loves me and we have a great relationship. And it's based upon a lot of things. It's based upon things like openness and communication and respect and compassion and a lot of kinky fucking sex. You know what's not in there? Jesus. And you know, maybe my relationship will last my entire lifetime. Or maybe it will only last 30 years. Or 20. Or 10. Or 5. But you know what? Doesn't matter. We're happy now. And we have 3 happy years to look back on. And we didn't need Jesus to be happy. We didn't need Jesus to find solace in one another's arms. And for you to say that my relationship needs that, for you to go beyond your own personal life and your own personal need for Jesus, and to say that that's what I need and that's what everyone needs, that is not only offensive and stupid and crazy, but it's just fucking arrogant. I may not be a Christian, but I do know that Christians are supposed to be humble. You are not displaying even a fraction of a sliver of a molecule of a modicum of humility when you make statements like this, sir. The rest of your poem is, of course, just a bunch of proselytizing about how great Jesus is and how we're all horrible ingrates if we don't prostrate ourselves before him on a minutely basis.
From the cross, he looks you in the eye and says, I'm taking this for my bride.
Because, of course, the poem was never really about marriage. It was always about Jesus. Because that's who you're really married to. That's who you got a big boner in your pants for. The naked man nailed to some fucking sticks. Well, if that's what you want to fap to, be my guest, my friend, but peddle those wares elsewhere. I ain't buying and I ain't interested. Now, if you don't mind, YouTube, I'm gonna get back to my fucking book.